Welcome to the Flights of the Round Table Podcast, broadcasting from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. And now, here are your hosts, Dan, Drew, Daniel, and Florian.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is episode 54 of the Flights of the Round Table Podcast. And before we kick this bad boy off, Daniel, why were you late to the podcast?
Yeah, we need to know.
I wasn't late.
Unacceptable.
You were late.
You know what? I'm going to say I was late because of traffic.
That's a horrible excuse.
Because seeing as that we're next door neighbors.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was stuck in traffic.
Yeah, it was the Empire that's between the two properties, right? And just traffic there.
There was that. It was a little slippery slope going on the inverted thing. So I was like, I'm going to take the path of the sidewalk all the way over. And that did take me a little 10-second diversion, as well as the puddle in the sidewalk. Then I was like, should I actually just go back and do the whole thing over? And I was like, I'm going to hop over the puddle.
I'm not buying it. So, you know what, guys?
You were 10 minutes late, so that must have been a big puddle.
I can go on. I think,
No, it's awful.
the story didn't end there.
It's an awful excuse, but stay tuned because we will have some excuses on our draft today. We're going to draft the best excuses for being late.
Ooh, I like that topic.
Might get a little alien abduction. You might get a flat tire. You never know, but we will go over it.
The possibilities are endless.
Yes.
But as we said, folks, this is episode 54, and we have quite the show to get to. As Drew said, we have an outstanding draft coming up. We're getting close to the playoffs, so we're going to talk on a couple different mystery teams, and we're going to get to pick-ems, and I think Daniel Zadoofis is back on the winning end.
It
so
is.
We'll be able to touch on that.
Yeah,
So,
and Christmas is coming up, too. We might touch on one or two things Christmas. So
Yeah.
we can fill those stockings right up for you. I don't know why I thought that was funny. Florian's just over there like, yeah, we're going to fill them.
I filled a few stockings already this Christmas.
Same.
So.
Wait, why?
It's like, yeah.
Why do you guys think stockings aren't bigger than they are? I was trying to put stuff in Karen's
Are
today.
you
Let me
saying
tell you.
in terms of hype or in terms of actual size?
That's a good question.
I agree.
Like actual size.
Because to me, this is this is the pumpkin carving all over again. I don't stock stuffings. That's not a thing in my
you don't
home.
stockings stuffings?
Or stuffed stockings?
Jesus, I hope you,
man.
could you imagine one of Florian's kids gets a stocking full of stuffing?
Or first Christmas, Florian gets married. His wife's hanging the stockings on the wall, and he's like, "Honey, what's the laundry doing on the mantle?"
I can see
I'll tell you what. When I get married, she's gonna get her stocking stuffed that night.
Okay. I can see Florian I've never done this shit with the stockings. Yeah, we'll just put some stuffing in there and we'll call it a day.
Well, how about this? I do that with my firstborn child, right? When they're of age. What is that? Maybe 3 before they know what's going on, right? Give them a stocking and just throw them a spoon. Hey, you figure it out.
But honestly, though, I wonder where that tradition came from.
That's American.
Essentially,
That's
it's a sock. I don't know. It has to be some signification of a poor family didn't have
Well, it's Santa sock,
strapping paper, so they put their socks up there. I don't know.
right? It always looks like Santa's sock. It looks like a very Santa Claus sock.
Yeah.
It's red with the white fucking fluff on it.
Here's my thought. It was something to do with in a cold area, they were putting socks up near the fireplace to dry them because they were wet from the snow. And some people started putting some gifts in them one day.
Oh.
I like that. I was going to say they call them stocking stuffers. Very, very similar to that. They were cold, so they wanted to have their feet warmer, so they put things into them to make them warmer.
That's a very
Wow. Okay.
thought out, a very believable and probably true idea or theory there. That's good.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think it's better than our old potluck theory. You
I
know?
like the potluck theory. It does go.
I like the potluck theory too.
I like the potluck theory. This does go as a PSA to all companies that make stockings. Make them bigger.
And
Bigger the better.
And better.
more furry.
More sales.
That's going to be ridiculous. At one point, they're going to get too big where they're going to swoop into the fireplace and catch on fire.
No,
you're going to have a lawsuit on your hands.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So think about it first.
Apple just makes one the eye stocking.
They do make them too big. So that's what I have to say about that. They do make them too big.
Yeah, well, if you get too big, it might pull down the mantle.
I remember this one SNL episode. It has nothing to do with stockings, I guess, but you just said the eye stocking, right? It was an SNL skit from way back when, and it's Apple is introducing new products to their line, right? Instead of the phone, right? So like, here's the new iPhone, whatever, and then it was like the credit card or something like that, and then they show like a giant rack, right? And they call it the iRack. The country, and then they did a pair of shoes, the Iran. Like, that's funny.
That's good. I like that.
I like that a lot.
Ingenious.
That's good. Yeah.
That is good.
Well, guys, next topic. I mean, we're on Christmas right now, and I think there's something funny about, Christmas, and the one thing that is untrue, but for a big portion of our lives, we thought was true, and that's Santa Claus. So, what is the acceptable age of a kid to know that Santa Claus is not quite existing?
I feel like 8 or 9 is pushing it.
What grade? I think grade is a better question.
Grade? I'm trying to remember. I think I knew in maybe second or third grade.
Wow, pretty early.
It might have been. I don't know. My parents, like, we used to go away on trips, and we'd come home, and my parents always would have like one gift. Well, I was on my dad's computer one time, and I saw pictures of the gifts and the note that they left. I was like, oh well. Okay, I guess I figured out who Santa is.
So they didn't even sit you down and tell you?
Nope, I figured it out on my own.
Wow. Figured it out the
so
hard
I think
way.
It could be higher. It could be 4th or 5th grade, but I think between 3rd and 4th is a pretty good
That's fair.
indicator there.
Warren, do they have German Santa Claus?
That's where Santa Claus came from.
No,
Is
no.
Germany.
They came,
North
it literally
Pole.
came from Norway. Yeah, North
Saint-
Pole and connected
Saint Nic-
right there
Saint
is
Nicholas?
Norway.
Yeah.
Poland.
No.
Listen, if you look up where
Yeah, look that up.
if you look
North
up where
Poland.
Santa Claus lives right now, it will literally put you to a house in Norway.
I'm pretty
Right
sure
now.
I'm pretty
I'll
sure
put
it's
money
Germany.
on it.
Isn't this funny? We're
put
talking about
money
how
on
he's
it.
fake, and
Money on
Daniel's
it.
like, you check out where he lives right now.
Like
Check
as
out-
if he's real.
No, but like,
I understand that like
if you
the
look
thing
him
is
up-
the North Pole. I think everyone is well aware that the home of Santa Claus is North Pole. I get that, Daniel.
yes, but it's more actually in Norway than North Pole. I think.
Daniel, sorry we got you riled up about the geography of Santa, but what about the
Norway-
age that kids should believe? How late did you believe in Santa Claus? Actually?
Well, listen, my grandpa in Norway. There's most kids. They have someone dress up as Santa and come into their house and give presents directly to the kids, and that ended up. I grew up on a very, very small town. So the only pretty much guy that was going to dress up to be Santa was my grandpa. And
so you put 2 and 2 together, kind of.
yeah, and because he always stepped out, and then I was like, I'm pretty sure this is, I'm not gonna like ruin it for the kids. I'm not gonna pull it off, I'm not gonna be like, I know it is him, but I just like grabbed my mom and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna ruin it for all the other kids if you don't tell me it's him.
That's
And-
such a Daniel thing
That
to
is
do.
such a Daniel thing to do.
And my mom was like, oh shit,
He's real.
he's no, he did no. She said no. She said Santa's fake.
Oh, so
She did. She did. Because I made a big deal about it. So she finally did that day.
I just hope we don't have any kid listeners or parents that maybe are listening to it while they're driving with their kids.
Can you imagine? And it's funny you say that. On YouTube, when I post the shorts for our reels that Anthony so graciously makes, it always asks, is this approved for kids? And I'm just like, yep. I just check yes no matter what.
I like that.
For me as a kid, this was when I lived in Florida. Me and like all my best friends at the time, all of our dads, we'd all get together, right? And
Bunch of
like
dads.
every year, the dads would switch places of who's Santa, right? So Santa always had a different face. And one of our friends was half Peruvian, so he was a few shades darker. I was like, you got real tan this year. And what happened there?
And that's when you knew?
But they did it really believable. I remember one time it was at our house, actually, our old house. And he was on the roof, and he was like stomping on the roof right above. We were all in the living room, all the kids, right? I was like, God damn, he's really up there. Dude. Someone help him, bro. And then he comes coming through the front door. I'm like, what's up, man?
Did you give him some cookies?
No, we didn't do that. I mean, it was a party, I guess. I don't know. I think they gave him a beer. I mean, honestly, I think that's what Santa was having.
likes
As, like,
Santa was having a little beer
pregame
ski.
fuel.
That's
you know?
that's what we need to
hilarious.
normalize. Instead of milk and cookies, a beer and a pretzel.
Beer
for
and a
Santa.
pretzel with cheese.
Just
cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah, with cheese.
with beer cheese.
Yes.
I mean, the guy would be happy. He'd be free flowing. He might crash the reindeer a little bit, but it'll set up for a great story.
He might be a little fucked up and
might be a little
crashing
fucked
his sleigh everywhere. But
Like
Some-
the Sky Police pulls him over. So
Yeah.
we're going to DUI, driving under the influence while sledding.
It's kind of funny that you're on your own naughty list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could use it as a bargaining chip. Be like, hey, listen, bro, like I got this list, okay?
Oh, you can
You
do
do
that
not
too.
want to be on this list.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's true.
telling you, that promotion you've been wanting, I can cancel that real quick.
I'm a very powerful man, you know.
It's like Mrs. Claus is in the back. He's like, Miss Claus, you know.
Hey, what can I do to convince you? Miss Claus comes out in like lingerie, like,
Some
hey,
stockings.
honey, do your thing. I'll be back. I'll be back in 30.
Let me deliver to Taiwan real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, Dan, you don't like that? All right, go ahead.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's good. For me, I think I was
Yeah.
4th grade when my parents told me. It is funny that we did have a kid that was like up till 7th grade in our class, like still believing in Santa. And I felt bad for him because like everyone obviously was like telling him no, not necessarily making fun of him, but like you
Yeah.
could see it in his face.
Yeah.
He was crushed, and he wasn't like a kid that was picked on much or anything. Like he hung out with the normal people, and just the look in his eyes was like, "Fuck, man, I'm in 7th grade, and I just believed this whole thing."
Hey, maybe his parents did it really freaking good and made him
Yeah.
believe like what the
Yeah.
fuck, like it's almost like a ghost or something like that. Like they like freaked him out. Like if Santa's not real, then our world's not real.
Yeah, they probably like, if Santa's not real, you don't get allowance. And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's real."
Hey, quick side note. Am I the only one that just imagines Mrs. Claus being like super hot?
Yeah,
Foreign-
probably.
Yes.
Probably. I'm older.
Probably.
Yeah, don't off
lady.
for you,
Dude,
dude.
unless Santa has the best game, then she's not
Yeah,
hot.
he is. I mean, best game. He doesn't even try really hard. He's fucking Santa. But in every movie, not in every movie. That's not true. I now I think about it, but I feel like
Where
she's
are you
never
going with
ugly.
this?
She's either like just like a nice old lady,
She-
or she's
she
hot.
looks-
You know.
She looks fragile. Okay, and
don't
then
know
we're gonna
about
end this conversation.
Yeah,
there.
we are ending this. I wanted to hold on. I
What's
know
up, what's up?
we're not doing
Damn.
overrated, underrated, properly, but there's one I actually want to ask
Let's
you.
do it.
I'm
We're on
throwing it in
Christmas.
here. Wrapping gifts, overrated, underrated, properly rated.
Overrated. Let me just throw a gift card at you.
Let me throw it. I'm gonna say it's along the lines of fireworks. Like fireworks, you were literally burning your money, whereas wrapping paper, you're literally tearing your money.
Okay.
But it's worth it. I think it's properly rated.
I like to look at it a different way. Same thing though with fireworks, right? Like whatever you just bought, like you said, okay, you're destroying it, right? But the end goal is like really nice, right? Where when you wrap presents, that look on someone's face when they get it, and then they're like happiness from the surprise and from getting a good gift makes it all worth it, you know?
That's true.
nice.
Yep, the sentimental value.
Yeah, I like the way you said that. Here's the thing. I am a very big. I don't wrap the gifts. I'll wrap it for like my mom and my girlfriend. That's it. Every other person I'm getting gifts for, it's never been me. I've never wrapped. If you got a gift from me, I didn't wrap it.
You
I can
didn't
tell
wrap
that.
Wow.
It wasn't me. I gave it to someone else. I would have paid them to wrap that thing for sure. So, but my brother, my dad, my sister, all the other people in my family, like I don't need to go on, but yeah, never wrapped their stuff. It's always Sarah's been wrapping it or Kirsty's wrapped it. My sister.
What if that
Gotcha.
that was Daniel's ultimate gratitude? Like he goes to a
Yeah.
restaurant,
Yep.
he had the best service he ever had. He wraps the tip. And here you
Folds
go.
it perfectly, puts a little ribbon on it.
Yeah.
Listen, I love
pretty
giving
good.
gifts. I just don't like wrapping them.
That's
I,
fair.
I don't even like to buy the wrapping paper because that just pisses me off too. You're right. It's like fireworks. You shoot them off, but it's fun. Fireworks for me is fun.
It's a visual.
The wrapping, I don't like that.
What about you, Dan? Where do you lie in this territory?
Overrated. First, I will say shout out to my wife. She's a fantastic rapper and actually takes her time. But for me, I just wrap it, put a bunch of tape on it. You rip it up the next day and you go from there. My dad's dad never wrapped anything. He would give it to you in the bag that he got it from. He'd put it under the tree. It could be from like up there, like it was like their store was like Giant Eagle, was like the Kmart of spots. So you get my dad something from Kmart, it would just come in the bag. I think
Little
that's the way you
Kmart
got to
bag.
do it.
Yeah, sure.
Sleeper like alternative to wrapping. You just get one of those like paper bags, and then you have the little like stuffing thing in it.
That's
and
what
you
I
just
do.
Throw it in there.
Always. Or
What
you
I
just
do.
don't
Perfect
get
birthday
anybody
gift.
any gifts.
Yeah. And that way it doesn't get destroyed. That's reusable. Recycling.
Yeah.
I like that.
Going
I like that a
green,
lot. Yeah.
yeah.
I use those a lot. Or boxes.
Yeah.
IKEA boxes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I can't help when we talk about rapping. We say like 4 times. I can't help about think of this like someone in the back ripping bars while they're just wrapping up paper. Rapping.
I know. Dan was like, shout out to my wife. She's a fantastic rapper. And I want to be like, no, that's Eminem. But
She won 2 Grammys. Album of the year.
yeah.
No.
a little bit, here and there. But with Christmas coming up, it's a good thing.
It is.
Everyone's gonna wrap their gifts. I'm sure everyone here wants a little special something. Couldn't tell you what it is because I don't know what the hell I want. But
World peace.
oh, yeah, okay.
Is it draft time, Dan?
Threw me off there. Yes, it is. Shit. It is in fact draft time. So as Drew,
I'm excited for this.
As Drew alluded to, we are going to be doing excuses for being late.
I could vary.
Daniel should have the top of the line because, folks, if you wouldn't know this, Daniel is late to just about everything. So
I'm purposefully late to and just barely.
You always say that, and that's the biggest call.
that's so false.
It's a cop out to being late.
Okay, so here's the thing. We were here. You were early to the podcast. We were all early to the podcast. We were early 30 minutes.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that from you.
What do you mean from
We
me?
were over here. We go back. You call us, say, come back over, and then you're not ready for 5 minutes. So whatever we were doing at Daniel's could have been done.
We started the podcast 20 minutes ago, and when we were all in the room together, it was 30 minutes before the podcast. So I was early. Yeah, not as early as you. Fine. Okay.
I was here before you.
Okay.
Guys, wait,
that's funny, though, but then you left twice.
Okay, and what's your point there?
Why?
Because I had things to do and we weren't ready here. So
Oh, we were ready.
Okay, well, you guys can, hash this out afterwards.
I
but
don't like that. I don't like
essentially, we're going to draft 4 excuses each for being late. We'll see who comes up with the best excuses. So, you guys know how it goes. 2v2, rock, paper, scissors for draft
Always.
order.
oh man,
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Always.
Rock, paper,
Yeah.
scissors, shoot.
that. I do
paper,
rock
scissors,
every
shoot.
time. And I
Rock,
need
paper,
to-
scissors, shoot.
Rock on, dude.
I'm the loser.
All right, Daniel. Rock, paper,
For
scissors,
third?
shoot.
For third?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Last. I'm always.
Yeah.
first, second, third, fourth.
No, I'm second.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
All right, so Daniel, first
You
pick.
uncultured
The
swine.
ultimate
Oh,
unexcusable
man.
excuse.
It's easy as pie. Traffic. If you anything to do with traffic, the traffic. There was a crash. Traffic. Any type of crash. Traffic again. And traffic again.
Yeah, and it's hard to argue with it. you know?
I was late to the podcast because of traffic today.
That's a good one. Your starting quarterback. Traffic.
All right. Yeah.
Starting quarterback, traffic.
Yeah, you can honestly say anything with traffic.
For me, I overslept. And that's normally because I got a text from one of the agents on my team yesterday that she overslept. She was going to be a little late into the office. So I immediately thought of that one.
Right. Florian?
I got pulled over.
Ooh.
Sleeper
Wait,
one.
did you?
No, but it doesn't really happen, but you can say it did.
That's a risky one though. Like, because
Karma.
if you prove it and you don't, how can you prove
I'll
that
prove
one?
it. I'm never going to prove it. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'm definitely not going to prove it. You either take it or you don't. At least it's my excuse, and you can't prove that I didn't say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So for my pick, I'm gonna go with alarm didn't go off / phone died. That's
Okay.
that's an easy one to sneak in there. If
Yeah.
it happens once a year, you can easily slide that one in there and get away with it.
Funny story about that. I actually, one of the times my alarm didn't go off in my second week of college and I missed a class, failed a quiz. It's not great.
No, at least you didn't fail an exam.
Didn't fail an exam.
All right.
So, Drew, back to you again.
back to me. I'm gonna go with a solid number 2, hungover. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's realistic.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'll use that.
You always have that one day where you went a little too hard, and you're just like, "Look, boss, I'm
Yeah.
hungover. Can I just use a PTO day?
It could be
dock
true.
it."
It can be not true.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's valid. Because they're going to be like, show me your blood alcohol levels from yesterday. No.
Yeah.
Okay, my second one, I lost my keys.
Oh.
Hey, that's a true one. I mean, this shit happens, I mean, I'll lose something from time to time, right? And it might happen. But it's a good one to have in your back pocket when you're lying.
That
you know?
is.
That's a great one.
Dan?
I got to be careful about this one. My significant other took their time getting
Yeah.
dressed.
That's such a good one. That's such a good one. That
I
was
love
on
you,
my list.
honey. I love you. I love you.
I like
Because
that one a
everyone
lot.
knows, like, no offense, and I think even most women will admit this, that it takes longer for them to get ready than guys.
It does.
It does. Just is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's a good one to rely on.
That was a great one.
Luckily, I have a girlfriend that's always on time, so because I'm the one that's not on time, so I needed that. So.
Oh, we know.
Now I would say when it comes to me,
It is you.
I gotta take a dump
So using the restroom.
using the restroom. That's why I'm late.
But that one doesn't give you much of a window, though. Because it's like, if you're like an hour late, using the restroom.
Well, what if you? I mean, food poisoning, like like a food poisoning
That-
type of situation.
Or you can couple it. It could be a double whammy. I took a shit. And then I ran into traffic. Yeah, you could do both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's a double whammy, though. But
And then if while you're late, you could like think of a story why you had to take a really bad shit. Like you can make it work.
yeah, and that goes to my other one that I was gonna say. I'm really not feeling good. I got like a little stomach bug.
Okay.
Thought I had a puke,
So
or
I'm
I did
sick.
puke.
Yeah. Stomach
Yeah.
hurts, all that. All right.
That's fair.
Pulled over to the side of the road and it'll eat.
Okay. You guys can say I couldn't find parking.
Oh fuck, Dan!
Whoa,
That's
that's a
such
good
a
one.
good one. That's the one.
I've had that happen before. Like even at work events, I'm like 15 minutes late because they pick the worst spots and you can't park.
Dan, that was like my big
That's
one.
good.
That was really
That's a good sleeper pick. What are we in the third round right now?
I'm
Yeah.
tired, so
Yeah.
I like to sleep.
Yeah, it's good sleeper pick.
Okay, I've used this one personally when I was still living with my folks. I needed help my parents with something. Like they
Oh my
needed my help
God,
with something.
yes.
Oh, brother, they didn't need shit. they weren't even home. But I used it. It is what it is. I was running late as fuck.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Hey, I like. Hey, listen, you're gonna say don't help your parents. Oh, I'm gonna help them.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
they didn't need help.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I remember you doing this.
Okay, for my third round pick, I'm gonna go with ran out of gas. Okay,
Yeah.
I think everyone
Fair.
that's happened to before at least once, and it's a sign of poor planning. It is. It's not a good look. It's not like a good look excuse, but
I've actually never had that happen.
No, I actually that was one of mine. I was gonna say, so that's a great one.
that's a great one. Good third rounder. And to start the fourth round, I'm gonna go with your pet died. Okay.
Oh,
You know, everyone can understand. You've had a dog or cat for a while.
yeah.
You know,
But that one's like leading to bad karma. That's
It
a
is.
dangerous game to play.
you're using something significantly
Yeah.
sad to gain advantage.
That's
I
for
hope
like
it's true.
That's for being late to one of like something you absolutely cannot afford to be late. Like that's because you're risking karma. You're risking it right there.
Yeah, that's
right?
your ace in
Especially
the
if you
hole.
have a pet and it's alive. You don't want to risk that.
You might come back, and that person might just kill their own pet at that point. Like that's
You don't know how
That's
it's gonna
terrible,
Go.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why it's my fourth rounder. It's like after you use all the 13 other ones we just talked about,
Yeah.
then you pull that one out right there.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, my last one here. I ran into so and so at the store, and they talked forever.
that
That happened to
That's
us.
happened to us the other day.
We ran into Quinn and Tammy. Me and Daniel were going to Walmart for like 5 minutes. It turned into like 20.
Yeah, I
easy.
came
It was an
back and I
easy
got
20,
yelled at because I was supposed to be back way sooner. So
wow,
easy
perfect.
20, 30-minute sesh right there. We were talking about everything,
Wow, no, that's a good one. Who'd you get yelled at by?
well,
No,
they're
You know,
girly.
I don't.
Well, do I? That's good, though.
This group understands this pretty good. I was finishing a game of Warzone.
Oh, might be the best one of the day. That was good.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Wow.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, because I'm looking right across the way at the guy that always happens with.
You sucked it right out of
It really was. And now I'm gonna finish it off here with I had a family emergency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a family emergency.
That's like a rookie. If you're talking about like in sports terms, that's a rookie because eventually that excuse is going to be a first round draft pick.
yeah. It
Yeah,
is.
but it's tried and true. It's old. It's the old reliable. It's
Yeah.
so easy. Everyone can use it, but there's a reason why everyone does use it. Because what are you going to say? Like,
you're not gonna
prove
be like,
that?
Yeah,
You'd
you're gonna be like, let me know what it is, and
Yeah.
like you're not gonna be like,
yeah, you'd be like, that's a private matter, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Like you can turn it on the person asking real quick. Be like, listen. listen, fuck you. This is my shit. It's my family. And then you get like so into it, you actually think something happened. Yeah. You're like, oh, fuck, wait a minute. Mom?
You start like painting a picture. Yeah.
You start calling everyone in your family. Are you okay?
Yeah, and as you're on the phone to them, you're like flipping everyone off, like, fuck you.
It wasn't meant for that. Yeah, so we just gave 16 excuses. You guys let us know which 4 would you rather be stuck with for the rest of your life. The only ones you could use. So
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll
yep.
see.
Oh, I thought we were going again. I had actually a couple good ones.
Well, round them off.
Didn't we hit 4?
Yeah, we did hit 4, but
Yeah, we hit
why don't
4.
you do...
Nah,
Do some honorable mentions.
Yeah, do an honorable mention.
Go ahead.
I was picking up beer because I've done that for
Oh.
you guys before, where I've
up
gotten
beer.
here late because I stopped and took my sweet time
me
in
check
a grocery store or a packy store. You know,
Okay.
What I had in my notes is for honorable mention was like you defecated on yourself for.
You shit on yourself.
You had to use the
So
restroom.
that's a risk, but that is risky because you're incriminating yourself. Although very true, you can't show up shit covered here. I mean, you're gonna take a shower, you know? Like,
Yeah.
You can't.
Facts. If we were doing 8 rounds, that would definitely would have been an 8th rounder. Let's put it that way.
I was gonna say my dog took a shit and I had to clean it up, you know. Except I don't have a dog.
I was gonna say my kid took a shit,
Yeah.
and so that's a
Ooh,
good one.
another one too is a good one. Is my roommate got locked out of the house.
That's a good one. That's an
good
honorable
one.
mention.
Yeah.
Well, what about you have a kid, but you're new to parenting, right? It's your firstborn.
Something
I
with the
lost my kid.
kids.
Oh shit, dude! I lost my
Honestly,
kid.
just don't ever say that to anyone. Don't
You're
ever.
right.
No,
But
I don't care what it is.
I know, but don't you think it's more likely to happen to fathers, especially fuck ups like us, like our first kid? We're like, say we're at the park and we forget him at the park.
Why did you just refer to us as fuck ups?
I'm not a fuck up like that. I
Okay,
mean, I know.
okay, fine. So
I might forget my dog outside,
Fine.
but-
I didn't know this was so sensitive, guys. I mean, okay, fine. I'll say that.
I'm about to ask you to
I'm
happen.
proud of my life. Okay.
That might happen to me. Okay, that's what I'll say. It
I'm
might happen to me.
gonna be there for that child in Florian. I'm gonna take a little
We're a
watch
team. If
over
one
it.
of us is a fuck up, Florian, then we're all a fuck up.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not the
about
Three
that.
Musketeers, all for one and one for all. It's just me, myself, and I.
No,
I gotcha.
this is all of us.
Okay.
did
We're there
we
for you.
say? Do we say my dog got out? Like ran away?
We did not.
Because I know you've had that happen with cats. I've had to get that with Bailey, and I've been late to a lot of functions.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of so many now.
Yeah, Dan, you are an excuse maker, is what this is sounding
I'm
like.
going to save.
Especially on the golf course. Oh, we played behind a slow group. That's why I'm
Oh,
late
that's
to
a
dinner.
good one.
If we did one more, that was gonna be mine.
mean,
That's good, especially if your significant
Cheers to
other
that.
already agreed to let you out for like 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
right? Honey, we're behind the golf course.
Dude, that should have been way up there in the rankings. That should have been like number one. I
That
can't
should
believe
have
you
been.
saved that for a back pocket.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going to save this entire segment of this episode, right? And I'm just going to have all these excuses
Hey,
rattling off. Don't be
yeah.
surprised when you guys ask me where I am. You're going to be getting one of these soon, boys.
I can't believe we haven't said it yet, guys. That was, I mean, first off, more importantly, that was a great draft. Can't wait
Very
for
good
next
draft.
week's draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as always, we had a Flights to the Round Table podcast. And why are we the Flights to the Round Table podcast? Because we drink flights of beer. Always said at the round table.
You said flights in a real southern accent. You're like,
He did.
Yeah, brother.
I kind of stuttered a little bit.
And he pointed at me after he said that too, and I was like, "Oh, am I going to say something in southern accent too here?"
Flo, what are we drinking on?
oh, shit. I already drank it
Oh,
all.
we only have 2
It's
cans.
gone. It's literally gone.
Are
Yeah,
you
where
a
are the
bird
other
with a
2
colorful
cans?
trunk? 2 cans?
Nah, I get it. That was good. But
was
where are
good.
the other 2 cans?
It's okay. We had the
Okay.
Florian. I guess I'll have to do
Oh, no,
a
no,
couple
no, no,
of
no.
yours.
I got it.
Remember the Caribbean in the middle
Okay,
of
so we
James?
have from what Sycamore Brewing in Charlotte, Dan's favorite brewery. It seems like in Charlotte. Based on your beer
It was a
choices.
Caribbean stout, dude. I mean, like I'd never seen Sycamore put out a stout.
Okay, fair enough.
So how about you go put that in a pipe and smoke it?
You give me the pipe, I'll smoke it. That sounds a little weird.
Keep moving.
Is a Caribbean stout. So when I think of Caribbean, I think of warm tropical weather. And when I think of stout, I think of like really rainy, cold weather where, just dark and the beer's dark, right? So Caribbean stout, I was thinking, there's going to be like a blonde stout like that one from Legal Remedy or whatever it's called. It was the complete opposite
Gingerbread
of
one
that.
was gross.
It was dark as hell. It looked like a really like dark Caribbean rum, so maybe that's the angle they're going with. But it was overall, it was decent. It was pretty good. So I would say out of all the Sugar Creek, Sycamore breweries,
Sugar Daddies.
I'm leaning toward it being one of my favorites.
That was a good stout. I will respect that answer.
Yeah. So this is the one I'm having trouble with.
So we had the Middle James
Right.
sweet potato
There we go.
blonde ale.
Yeah.
One of their
Big can.
I'm sipping on it. It's decent, you know. It's not my favorite, but it's decent, you know.
Right. It's good.
It's one of their most popular beers, folks. If you go back and listen to our Metal James show, they make sure that they highlight the shit out of that.
It's very like fall and
I'll trade you.
Thanksgiving / Christmas beer.
Yes.
Third in line, we have a beer. It's called Perception is Spoon Fed. It's interesting.
You're a spoon.
It's a Berliner Weiss style ale with key lime, coconut, and a bunch of other stuff. It's like drinking a liquid key lime pie.
It's
It's
really
phenomenal.
If you love key lime, if you like
Super
key lime
good.
pie, you'd love this. Is this Divine Barrel? Yep.
Yeah,
Divine
well,
Barrel.
we know you love key lime pie. You put it as your number one dessert last week in the dessert draft.
It's
This is yours.
it's incredible.
No,
It's incredible.
That one really is good too. It has. I want to read it off real quick to everyone because this one is
we don't have time.
key lime, coconut, vanilla, lactose, graham crackers, marshmallow. It's a whole bunch of.
Yeah, and then so this one, last but not least, from the can, audience can see that. I thought it was a Go-Gurt beer. Like, remember Go-Gurts, right? It's got that literally half
Or the
red, half
tricks.
green, or
the
tricks.
Ooh.
And they had a little purple side there too. It really
Yeah,
fucked me up a little bit.
little sleeper purple side there. From
Sleeper. Barney.
Dewclaw Brewing Company. Where are they from?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Dang, how did we get one of those down here? Nuts.
He went to.
I scooped it up, you know.
Yeah.
Did you drive to
boy.
Baltimore today?
No
So
wonder you were late in traffic.
It's a watermelon and cherry sour ale. Pretty good.
It
Pretty
really
refreshing.
actually, for what it says, it hits it right on the head. It's exactly watermelon and cherry, and it's beautiful for the sour. It really is.
It hits it right on the head. Would you say it's the whack-a-mole of beers?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, when you put it like that,
Yeah, I guess whenever you do
no
put
doubt.
Are you a professor?
it- when you put it like that.
Yes, but that was good. Before we get into football, though, I do want to talk about real quick why there was so much traffic in Charlotte today.
Oh yeah, bring it up.
Okay,
bring it up.
Because we live in Charlotte, guys. Charlotte always has traffic, but today we hit a new extreme. Going southbound, this tanker hits a sign, like one of those green signs you see on the interstate. Hits it. It falls down in the highway and backs up traffic. All lanes closed for a very long time.
Did anyone die?
Nobody died. Nobody got hurt.
Are you sure?
That's
Luckily.
amazing.
That's confirmed.
That's confirmed because it was a very big tanker, right? So if you're a car, like you're kind of like
Wasn't it a
staying
gasoline
away.
tanker?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean,
That's
give me
it's tremendous.
some
it didn't
thoughts here.
explode.
Who's responsible? Like, I mean, this has to be the most hated person in
This
Charlotte
sounds
right
like a
now.
Final Destination type thing.
Well, who's responsible is obviously the driver, and yeah, he is the most hated fucking person. I'll tell you that today in Charlotte. But people, you know, there's going to be a new problem tomorrow. I can tell you that. This fucking highway is so unforgiving. It's every single day on weekends, holidays. If there was an alien invasion and everyone said, you know what, no one's going outside, everyone defends their home, there'd still be an accident on that
On
fucking highway.
77,
The
yeah.
aliens would get on an accident on that fucking highway. It's incredible. It claims, I mean, on a serious note, I think it claims lives almost every day. It is like, it's just crazy, that highway. And dude, there is a problem. And you were a problem one time. That was you.
I've
You-
recently gotten a wreck on 77.
Oh, dude, I was like, motherfucker, again with this shit. And then I get the call from you, not even a couple minutes later. Hey, bro, listen, I need you to pick me up here. Like, where are you at? And then you pinned your location literally right on the side. I'm like, I know this motherfucker. He's the one.
There are always those weird crashes, and you're right. It seems like it's every day
Yeah.
on 77.
Every day.
But it's so fucked up because you think about it. It's like one guy, one single human did something that he shouldn't have. He should have known his clearance. And it affected thousands and thousands of lives. Like there
So
has
that's
to be
what it
some
was? You think
accountability.
it was-
It was a clearance thing, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here's the funny part.
I don't know. He may have hit
Okay.
the side or the top. I don't know.
I had a feeling like.
But he hit it.
Yeah, he hit it.
Yeah, either way, but
do
the
you
funny
think?
part was I didn't even know it was someone that hit it. I just thought it fell. So I was like, what the fuck? It just fell and it
What?
almost hurt someone or killed someone? If it just fell out of nowhere, it probably would have killed someone,
No,
I
he
think.
hit it.
Yeah.
He hit it. There's a Twitter account like specifically for Charlotte traffic, and I follow it. And I replied, I was like, tonight we are ripping this guy on the podcast.
That's good.
Tune in.
Dude, but isn't it crazy? Like, Charlotte's really, it's like a big city, but it's not a huge city, right? I don't think we're big enough to justify all this bullshit every single day on that highway.
It really does scream public transportation a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, but then they're building the light rail. They're expanding it more and more, right? But it's literally just a circle. You still have to drive to get to the light rail. So really a problem isn't going to be solved by that fucking thing anyway.
No.
So it's kind of ridiculous.
I've lived here for 6 years, and I can honestly say every year it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It seems like anytime you're going to Uptown Charlotte, it could be middle of the day. Once you get past, like, I think it's Arrow or...
No, 45.
45 split, yeah.
Yeah, the 485 split. So, like, before, like, exit 5, I think that's Tyvola. There is traffic there. It could be at 12 o'clock at night, and there will somehow be traffic there for whatever reason. It's, like, maddening.
Yep. So, today, on December 13th, that tanker who hit the sign by Carowinds Boulevard is the most hated person in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
But I hope you're okay also.
I like that. All right, Dan, you know what time it is? A little F to the B to the all football.
It's time for a little football topics.
do we got?
And
What do we
want to
got?
get into, we're touching on the playoffs. We're getting close. We got 4 games left of the
Really?
regular season. Feels like the season has just
flown by.
Yeah, it
Wow.
did fly
It
by.
is fastest season I think I've ever had.
so quick.
Yeah.
And there's been storylines every week. You got Baker Mayfield starting again this week. You know, the Panthers are on a couple game win streak, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken. Defense is looking
Yeah.
good. You have some of the top competitors that are starting to maybe falter a little bit, so you just wonder how that's going to look going into the playoffs. But want to get into I want you guys to go through 2 mystery teams, or not, excuse me, sleeper teams that you think could make some noise in the playoffs.
Right. So don't pick like a team that's leading the division
Like the Eagles.
or like steadily ahead in the wild card like the Cowboys, but like a team that's like 500 or less that like has a chance to sneak in this thing real quick.
Right.
Sneak into the playoffs.
The playoffs.
So I'm not sure. Are the Panthers have the ability?
Panthers are still
Yeah.
in. They're
Yeah,
still
I
in.
would say the
Panthers are-
Panthers a sneaky little ability. I want to go. I want to
think-
say that move
I
first.
think that's the sneakiest ability because
Yeah.
they have a chance to win the division.
So
It's not
Panthers
even
are
over.
won 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
They are in the 10 spot for the wild card, top 7 make it,
Yeah.
and they're 1 game behind the division lead.
That sounds pretty sexy to me.
So the Buccaneers are 6-7,
Correct.
Yeah.
and they're
Division lead.
so the Panthers is what 5-8.
5 and 8.
Not too shabby. Okay, we need another win though because we really need one.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the schedule and like them and the Bucks and see how that kind of shakes out. God,
The Bucks looked horrible.
horrible. I,
I mean, they-
knew
Horrible.
that.
Yeah.
I told you guys 49ers all the way.
But there's a part of me that this like I know like if the Bucks do make it to the playoffs, like they're gonna win at least a game or 2. We know that.
With that, I agree.
I
agree.
think,
But
I think
can
a
they
game
get
they
there?
could win. Yeah,
That's the question. Can they get there?
So, Daniel, your first team is the Panthers.
Yes.
Florian.
I'm gonna say the Chargers. They just beat my Dolphins, and they have a realistic shot of making it. Because the offense is just the team is actually really good on paper. It's a really good team. I think they have to overcome like some deficient coaching. I don't think the head coach is necessarily the greatest, but I definitely think they have a realistic shot.
They're
of
alive, guys.
making
Remember,
a
there's
wild card.
4 games left in the regular season.
is,
like
bro.
if you are one of these teams, it's like 500. You go 3 for 4.
Yeah,
You're in that thing. I like the Chargers call. They're 7-6, first team out right now of the playoffs.
yeah.
For me, I'm gonna go back to the Lions. Now the Lions have won 5 of 6, and the games they have lost have been super
Yeah,
close.
like 1 possession games, or
Yes.
or like 10 points or something.
Correct.
Like that?
They've only like got destroyed twice. And that's okay.
You beat the Vikings, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
They
hot-
were
it's a hot
favorite
team. Yeah.
against a 10-point team. I mean, they're a couple games out of the wild card. If they go 2-2 in these last 4, I think they still have a legitimate shot going 7-9 just because how bad. But if they can get 3 out of the last 4, they're in that thing, man. And I think they could do some damage. They have the best offense statistically in the NFL still. So,
Yeah, they do.
and I'm a Jared Goff hater. So let that sink in. Sink like some quicksand.
For me, it's got to be the Texans. 1-10. I think they're going to make some money. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Jets. I think the Jets could be very, very sneaky getting in. They have a top defense. It doesn't. They consistently have a top defense. Sauce Gardner is starting to work his way into a top 5 cornerback conversation, which we need to reevaluate after the season here. But I think he's
do.
consistently sneaking his way in there. The team seems like they play a lot better for Mike White, as opposed to Zach Wilson. It seems like they're just. I get they lost to the Bills. The Bills are a superior team, but that doesn't mean they can't squeak into the playoffs and maybe take one of the top teams out. You know what I mean? They're very, very well coached, and I have high expectations for them. I think they need to win. They have to win 3 out of 4. I think of what I saw, and they need a little help. So I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be awesome. Getting the Jets back in.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's hard for us to all go through, too. I mean, you have,
The Ravens is the one I was going to say.
So Ravens are in there already.
They're in there already.
So for the
They're
AFC...
the last seed, I think, or are they the 5th seed?
So for the AFC, the top 3 teams looking in are the Chargers, Jets, and Jaguars.
Yeah, I was going to say mine was going to be Jaguars.
I mean,
Maybe
Trevor
they do
Lawrence is
something-
playing really fucking good right now.
Yeah, he is.
Top 10, no doubt.
Yeah.
Right now.
Quarterback in the league.
Yes.
If you're just looking at the last 3
Yeah.
weeks, yes.
I know, but
In the
it's kind of
league,
funny.
yes.
Dan is saying that. He's the biggest T-Loss skinny player, big boss hater.
He is. But I mean, shit happens. We were having this conversation about Justin Fields a month ago. He had 3 great weeks at that time. He might have been one of the best. Got hurt.
So the one thing I want to say about the NFC, I think they are actually in the playoff picture now, but the one team I think could actually make some noise, the Commanders.
So Commanders are the 6th seed right now.
So I'm saying they're already in, and it seems like they are clicking at the right time.
Yeah, because nobody, besides the Eagles, besides the Eagles, and even then you do have some haters, but we'll throw them out there because I respect them as a good team. There's nobody that really scares me in the NFC, right? Last year you had the Rams clicking on all cylinders. You had Brady balling out. You even had the 49ers picking it up incredible. Aaron Rodgers was at least playing, they were still a playoff team.
Yeah.
This year, what scares you?
No one.
No one, no. I mean,
So-
the 49ers, Brock
49ers, yeah.
Purdy has been playing pretty good, but, he's
No, I am
he's
scared of the
a
49ers
rookie,
a bit.
right?
The defense can only carry you so far.
Exactly. And then Minnesota
not-
Vikings is the softest 3 or 2 loss team I've ever seen.
10-3, yeah, softest.
Dude,
We talked
so
about the
soft.
Niners, 9-4. You got Tampa Bay, 6-7.
Yeah.
I mean,
no one.
Dallas, 10-3. We know everything about Dallas.
Yeah.
Commanders, 7-5. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not enough there. And same with the Giants. Giants are 3-4 in the last 4 games. They're tanking.
Wait,
And then
I
you have
thought
the
there
Lions.
There were the Giants,
7-5.
dude. They haven't. I think they're 1 and. Did you say 3 and 4?
I'm sorry. They've won 1 out of the last
Yeah.
4.
And I
that's
think
what
they
was getting at.
tied too.
Yeah, and they tied. Honestly, like we talked about, if Tampa Bay can find a way in, they can really win this thing just because of or at least get to the bowl, right?
That team is not coming to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
beating the
know.
Eagles.
I don't even think that team could go to Minnesota.
They
at
could
this
beat
point
Minnesota
in
or
time.
Dallas.
I think they beat any of them easy.
I don't know. Brady's the GOAT. Brady can probably do it, but it seems like that team doesn't even play for him anymore. I don't know. It's like the rest of the team. Now you're putting everything on Brady. He has to get the wide receivers motivated to play. The defense doesn't look good.
No one's looking
right.
motivated.
Line's not protecting
It's
him
their
as well.
offensive line, which is having Brady have no time.
I agree.
Yeah.
They're consistently getting costly penalties, like last week against the Niners. They were a nice touchdown on Mike Evans, but there was a hold on, I think, Donovan Smith, who was consistently getting bad penalties. So them losing a couple big guys at the beginning of the season right now, whenever you need a great O-line, is proving to be a struggle.
Pretty costly. Yeah,
It really is.
no doubt.
It really is. And he can't do everything. You can't leave it up to Tom.
Of course not. Of course not.
So let me ask you guys real quick: Buffalo or KC? Who do you like better right now?
Casey. Easy.
KC, honestly, that's just because Patrick Mahomes is playing unbelievable to the point where he could be MVP.
Despite having 3 turnovers or 3 interceptions.
He's still
He-
he's
listen
the
to me.
best quarterback in the
He
league.
had 15 interceptions this year so far, and he still can be MVP. Just think about that.
Jalen Hurts has 3 interceptions all year.
Exactly.
That is the MVP of the NFL, is number 1 on the Philadelphia Eagles.
He is
Dan, but do you know what?
But this,
Patrick Mahomes has more thrown touchdowns still. He has more yards. There's still all these things, and he doesn't have as good wide receivers as your boy over there, Dan.
That's true.
And that's a fact. That's a
it is.
fact.
Casey is impressive because the consistency is undeniable.
Yes.
Mahomes continues to make incredible plays. And so I think they're trying a lot of new things, right? They know to
They don't have
get back.
They don't have
gotta
Tyreek Hill anymore. They have to try new things.
Right. And I hope it's a KC Philadelphia Super Bowl, but I mean, I think you guys could agree with me right now. If those teams two were to play on a neutral field, it'd be KC like -3. It'd be a 3 or 4 point favorite.
I do think that I do think that
Doesn't mean they would win, but I'm
Yeah,
I'm putting apples to apples.
if the Bills do win, it would go to overtime, and then they win in that new
You've
rule.
been
Like I
waiting
said,
for
that
this, like,
I'm telling
the whole
you,
season.
I'm telling
I know
you.
you've mentioned it a few times. It'd be cool. It'd be poetic as fuck.
It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I have a feeling it's gonna happen, and if it does, that's how it happens.
Actually,
Bills Chiefs.
I see. The thing is, I don't feel that's going to happen at all. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying if it does,
I know.
I think the Chiefs win no matter what. But if Bills win, they win that way.
Yeah, maybe it's just me because they're division rivals, but I think they're just not as good as they were last year. Last year, they were riding this wave of momentum, and they have a great team, and they're undoubtedly a top 3 team in the league. I think it's Philly, it's Kansas City, and it's Buffalo. But
True.
I think
good tier.
if they do meet in the playoffs, like
Eastern Conference Finals.
AFC championship, I pick Kansas City all day, and I don't even think it goes to overtime.
Yeah,
I
me
think
neither.
Kansas
And I think
City
they
wins.
played earlier in the year too.
Yeah,
And
Buffalo did win.
Buffalo did win. Yeah.
Buffalo has won the last 2 in the regular season, I believe.
That means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. It means in the
Crazy.
playoffs.
That means nothing. Doesn't it?
Before we get into picks, another good question because you got a couple other teams in the AFC just kind of hanging out there that you definitely could see some damage. One of those teams is led by Joe Burrow, who I think is the most balanced quarterback in the NFL in terms of overall efficiency and movability, deep throws. And then you also have the Ravens, who have an incredible defense right now, and Lamar's hurt though.
It's crazy
so
how
you
much
have
the
two-
defense has changed over the course of the
It
season.
really is. Like last week, they had some incredible plays to really get them that win against the Steelers with Lamar out.
Yeah.
They stepped up, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
They needed to. So
With a healthy Lamar, let's throw that factor in there. Which team is your so tier 1, KC, Buffalo, Philly. We're talking about tier 2 right here. Who's more top of tier 2? Cincinnati Bengals or the Baltimore Ravens?
Cincy.
I think you have to say Cincy. Yeah, I don't think there's a question. Cincy has all those great wide receivers, and Baltimore has Lamar only in a good defense and a couple good running backs. They're not even that good.
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
okay.
They're all hurt.
Oh, they are.
Well, J.K. Dobbins has been hurt from the dawn of time since he's
So
played again.
so he had a great week last week, and he's coming back strong.
He sat on my bench. He
Well,
sat
wasn't
on
that
my
his
bench.
first week last week?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay, he's been in the league for 2.5 years now, and I think that's like his 4th game or something. Like it's crazy. Like
2.5 years.
he's always hurt.
One big game, and then he's hurt again.
You saw the highlights, Ed? He looked big, right? He looked big. He kind of reminded me of Brandon Jacobs running the football. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, Brandon Jacobs was awesome.
If they can get him going with a Lamar and a good defense, that is a team to watch.
I think
no
it's
doubt.
going to be too little, too late. I don't think they're going to get it locked in time for the playoffs.
I agree.
Cincinnati is so good, and like to your point, Joe Burrow is an incredible quarterback.
Incredible, man. I love watching
They're going to
him
get
play.
Mixon back if they didn't get him already.
He played last week.
He did play. Okay.
And Jamar played too, 2 tutters.
Yeah.
That boy's crazy.
The whole team is back, and they're doing their thing.
You want to hear something about Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase missed 4 weeks, right? He's wide receiver number 14 in fantasy. He has scored the 14th most points in fantasy, missing 4 weeks.
It's
Nutty.
still insane. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
All right, should we pick some games?
We should.
I like that.
Did you guys know that there's Saturday games this week?
Yes, I found that out.
Dolphins-
College football.
I didn't realize. I
Dolphins
was
ago.
looking. I was like, wait a minute.
Dolphins Buffalo. I think Saturday night.
Well, that
That
was
makes
one
me-
of the games I wanted to get to was Dolphins and Buffalo.
You know the rules. Who's home and
The Bills are home and
Yeah.
they're favored by 7.5.
wow.
You have the Dolphins who have been
yeah.
sputtering recently.
Yep. We've
keep
been
it
falling
lightly.
off the wagon.
The Bills, who, as Florian put it, are a great team. They've had their moments this year where you're kind of going, okay, are we a little worried about the Bills? The Dolphins defense, which was very, very vaunted the last couple weeks, I haven't seen the best
No.
play in the world. So where are you guys leaning on this?
Let me go first here.
Go ahead.
No, Florian's going first.
Okay.
I think Buffalo wins this. We're going to go on a 3-game losing streak. We went 3-0, then we went 0-3, then we went like 5-0, and now we're 0-3. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to happen. It is
Wow.
what it is. I mean, we really needed a split San Francisco and Chargers. We needed to split that. I don't know what happened over the weekend. I really don't know. The offense looks terrible. The defense was keeping him in it the whole time. It's like at some point you got to do something. We're lucky we got a touchdown. Did you see the Tyreek Hill first touchdown?
That was lucky.
That was about the luckiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You still have to love him, though.
Just
man.
popped out.
It's
If you're
right
a
into his
Tyreek
hand.
Hill fantasy owner, you must
Beautiful.
have just like lost your mind. That was a 50-yard touchdown run.
But
and
once
it
again,
that was crazy.
even like most players, if they pick that up, like still can't get that in the end.
Yeah,
zone.
except
a
for
lot
him.
can, but I mean,
Right.
not a lot. Some can, and he's definitely one of them.
So, with that being said, Dolphins' confidence is at an all-time low because it's the starting team and they're on a 2-game losing streak. It's at Buffalo. I don't really see it. I mean, 7.5, I feel like is a little high, but at the same time, I could see it. I could be more.
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's in Buffalo.
See,
in
everything
Buffalo.
points that the Dolphins should not win this game. And I think the Dolphins are actually a good team, right? And I think Buffalo can afford to lose this more than Miami. I actually going to go Miami in this game. I think Tyreek Hill catches 3 touchdowns. And
So
the
what
Miami
you're
Dolphins
saying
win.
is Dolphins sweep the Bills.
Yep. I'm saying that.
Wow.
Oh.
I do think that that if you're betting on the Dolphins, they do cover the 7.5 points. I don't think
They win.
they win. And if they do win, it's going to be a close win. It won't be a blowout, I don't think.
No. Oh, that for sure. No.
I'm taking the Finns. I know
Wow.
they've been sputtering as of late, and I clown for him, but they're actually still a very, very good team. And I don't know. This is just one of those games. You guys ever had that feeling before, one of those games where a team you think should win, won't?
Right.
That's how I feel with this game. I think Tua, that offense is going to turn around. That defense is going to upset Josh Allen.
I agree. And I think last week Buffalo put a lot of effort into beating the Jets.
Oh, they did.
Knowing they needed to get that dub right there.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they have it this week where Dolphins are hungry.
The Dolphins need the win.
The Dolphins
Like,
need to go to the
they need
buffet
to win.
because they're hungry.
Ooh.
Have you
China
guys
King.
clinched the playoffs yet or no?
No.
No, not clinched.
Not even close.
Because like we just touched about, there's so many teams that are
There's
still
one
in
team
the
that's
hunt.
clinched.
But 2 more weeks, if we can get two wins in a row, then we definitely clinch
Yeah,
it.
if you go 2 for 2 in the last 4, you're in. All right, next game. Let's
Next
keep rolling.
game. One team is hot. One team, you have some questions. Dallas and Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, Dallas favored by 4.5. Dallas, I don't give a shit if they've been, the last 2 games they've won, they have not looked good. And I'm trying to remain very, very objective on the situation, but Dak is still making turnovers that first-year quarterbacks are making.
Yeah.
Okay? He had that game-winning drive. Great job, but you should have not been in that position at all against the Texans. You shouldn't have. Shouldn't have at all.
And I think everybody in this podcast decently has the same respect for Dak, right? Like we none of us in here think he's like top 10. Like he barely makes
He's
top
not a
12.
world. He's not a world beater.
He's in
but-
the 20s, if anything.
No, he's not in the 20s.
Jalen Hurts is better.
Yeah, right now, yeah, for sure.
He's not setting the bar high.
Yeah, he's
Jalen Hurts is playing really
Jalen
good.
Hurts better than Tua.
Really good.
I don't know about that.
That's so true.
Jalen Hurts knows how to run the football better than any quarterback in the league right now.
Yep.
I'm serious.
Ted Lamar.
But I will
Yeah.
say his coach is setting him up for that, though.
he's
They come out in a lot of
hurt,
single
so.
back sets with those draws, and they're very impressive. Anyways, for this game, I want to pick Jacksonville, right? It's easy to pick Jacksonville. And it's an easy letdown for the Cowboys spot. But I think that Cowboys actually pulled this out, man. And Trevor Lawrence gets put back down to
So what's the spread?
Dallas minus 4.5.
Yeah. I think that Jags might cover it, but the Cowboys might win, yeah.
I'm picking
Didn't
Cowboys.
the Cowboys win by like 2 or a point last week against the Titans? What? How much? Did
It was
win
like
by?
1 or 2.
Yeah, I think the exact same thing happens. I think they probably
Squeaker.
win it.
Yeah.
But Jags cover.
It's a squeaky situation.
I could really see it happening. I also could see the Jaguars winning it too. That is the thing. They're one of the hottest teams. Trevor Lawrence is playing incredible, and Doug Peterson's played the Cowboys before. However many years he coached the Eagles, right? He's familiar with them, sort of. So, I don't know. I definitely think they could win. I could see it. Realistically, Jags cover, end up losing by 1 or 2. I could see that happening.
Cool.
This reminds me of the Lions-Vikings games from last weekend. It's going to be the Jaguars. It's going to be a very, very close game up until the end. But the Jags are going to do just enough to win. Trevor Lawrence is going to pick apart that secondary because I think I saw one of their corners got hurt last week with an ACL and another one. Like, did something with a hamstring last week in practice. And I think they have the receivers. Trevor Lawrence has the pocket as well as the weapons in order to capitalize, but they also have a fast, young defense that will upset Dak, very, very similar to what the Texans did. Give me the Jaguars.
And that puts them in that playoff contention.
Yep.
If we did this topic next week, that would be the team that we're all talking about.
Oh,
Did y'all see Dallas's cornerback Diggs? Did you see him just get absolutely crossed up on that one play? It was like I got on Bleacher Report. I got the update. It's like watch what's his name? Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs.
Watch him get like sauced up or something, and he's like at the line of scrimmage, and the wide receiver just shakes him. I mean, he went out of the frame. Trevon Diggs just went left, and he disappeared from the frame, and then the wide receiver was wide open. It was disgusting.
Dude, that guy's risk reward, because contrary to that, did you see his interception he had and the return he had this week?
Yeah, he's actually really good.
Really good after the catch. He could play receiver, I think.
Yeah, he can. Maybe he might be better
He was a
suited.
receiver.
He
Yeah,
was.
He
Trayvon
was a
Diggs.
receiver.
He might
and
be
Nick
better
Saban
suited
put
for
him in the
that
corner.
because he can't stay with some of these wide receivers at all.
He
I
might
think
be.
he's probably better utilized in zone coverage, right, where he's occupying space and it's more of anticipation. But if it's man-to-man coverage, he's getting mossed almost every time.
Honestly,
It's
I put him
crazy.
on a punt team, and then a couple
Yeah.
times a year, you put a fake in there.
Yeah.
Straight pass to him.
Hey.
But anyway, Dan, last game?
Interesting. Last game, 2 playoff teams. From my division, you have the Giants and the Commanders on Sunday Night Football. 2 teams that I know. I said the Commanders on the come up, but the Giants, they can still pull. No,
How's that Sunday Night Football?
They're both 7-5.
They're both 7-5,
both
fighting for a playoff
in the
spot.
playoff
Oh,
spots
okay.
right
Well,
now.
It is
so it's
in
one of those,
the Commanders, so it's in Washington, and Washington is favored by 4.5.
Do you know what I think about that game? I just want to throw up. It's a boring game. Even if
Okay.
it was
All
good,
right.
it's going to be
Apologies.
boring because I just
Well, that playoff angle is kind of a big thing.
I agree, but I just don't think that it doesn't matter who wins. They're going to go to the playoffs. Guess what? They lose in the first round.
I agree. From a neutral perspective,
It's like, why do we even care about these teams?
Yeah.
All right,
From a
okay.
from a neutral
Jesus.
perspective, it is kind of boring just because you're not going to see flashy plays, right? But the angle of like winner can make the wild card final spot or something like that. I don't even
The
know.
winner probably gets in.
I'm pretty sure that
Sorry,
like
guys.
the
I'm
Commanders. I'm pretty sure the Commanders are like don't have Curtis Samuel. Don't have their running backs. I'm pretty sure they are.
That's so false, so we're going to move on.
don't have-
You have Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. They are in
Reboot.
Tampa Bay. The Bengals are favored -3.5. The Buccaneers
that's a
coming
good
off.
one.
That's
It
a
is.
good
The
one.
Buccaneers coming off an absolute
What time is that
stink
game?
fest. It is 4:25.
That's the game of the week right there. There's a lot of impacting right there.
I think you go Bengals and you just like I think that Tampa Bay is the year that Tom Brady just gets a
Bengals,
stinker ball and he might choose to hang up the towel after this year or he might choose to do one more
Hey,
year
he
because
did
now
not-
that he's single he might just be like, listen, I'm all in.
No, he did not get divorced for all that. He
Yeah.
has to win.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Like,
seen his girlfriend?
He has a girlfriend now?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that
What?
Has
no,
a
not
girlfriend now.
necessarily. No, there was a girl in the stands. They're saying that they
She
could
posted pictures with him, bro, on her Instagram wearing the Tom Brady jersey.
Whoa.
Why don't you do a little
be
research?
with him though.
She
That-
she was tagging him in it, like being at Bucks games and everything.
Do you know how many girls do that, Dan?
No, but all right.
Yeah, that is true, Dan.
We need some more context.
Yeah.
Sure.
Damn, but he moved on mad quick.
I mean, when you're Tom Brady, you can move on at any speed you
I
want.
guess, but that's like years of marriage. They have kids. They have like 4 kids.
It's Hollywood, baby. That means nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately.
It really is.
They could have ended it like a year ago. Apparently, we just didn't even know about it.
Good game. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna sound like an idiot. I was like high praising the Bengals, right? And then I was talking about how the Bucks need to get it together. It's a league of parity, man. I got the Bucks here.
It's in Tampa, though.
Yeah, I
That's
got the Bucks.
Home field
They,
advantage.
they need it.
You
They
know,
see
it's
the
a huge
Panthers
factor.
creeping. They see the Falcons creeping. They're gonna get this dub.
Yeah, I think they
so.
are too. The Bengals have a better or a worse defense than the 49ers do.
And O-line is still an issue. Let's
It is.
make that clear.
I actually don't see this happening. I think this is the end. This is the season for Tom Brady is over. It's going to go up in flames. They're not going to win very many games. Maybe one game. That's it. The rest of the season, and I think they actually lose their playoff spot. Do I hope this happens? Yeah, kind of. I'm not going to lie. So
I do too.
I'm going to give it to the Bengals. I think Bengals go into Tampa Bay. They're favored. They're going to win, and they're going to cover.
Let's do it, Bengals. Joey B.
Wow. Am I up?
Yeah.
No.
No, I think the Bengals win. I think that there's a chance that Tom Brady does come back and win, but I think it's very, very minimum. I really do.
All right. Well, those are our pick'ems for the week. I think it's time to transition to Daniel's Adufus. Daniel won last week, taking the Texans plus 17 or plus 17.5. Excuse me. He and I went back and listened. That was his bet. So Daniel, you are on another win streak here. So what are we looking at specifically?
So are we 3 for the last 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Daniel,
We're 75%.
We're doing pretty good this year, actually. We
At
came
the
back
end
in
of
a
the
nice
year.
sprint,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
What
What do we got?
We got the Houston Texans again.
Quotients?
Houston Texans again against the Chiefs.
No,
Texans
fuck that.
Texans plus 14.
No.
Don't care.
If we've learned anything from this season, every time the spread is like over 10, plus 10, that's ridiculous.
At least 2 weeks in a row.
It never covers. It just never covers. So I don't like that at all.
Last week it did.
Okay, but that's very rare.
But you're
because
getting-
the week before that, actually, I'm pretty sure you told me a game. It was like plus 15 or something like that, and it was way too many points.
I think
It
you're
was
getting played by
ridiculous.
that spread because there's only a 3-point difference with them playing the Cowboys. The Chiefs are so much better
So
than
much
the Cowboys,
better.
and you're getting 14. You're getting played by a recent result. Chiefs can easily win that game by 28 points, no doubt.
It's the NFL. I don't know. I really don't like it.
Back-to-back weeks for Houston playing good? I doubt it.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying.
my other choice is, we already talked about this, the Jags and the Cowboys plus 4.5 for the Jags.
Give me the Jags.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't like my first pick, so that's my second pick. I can throw in another one though, because you guys all didn't like that first one, so I feel like we should throw in another one.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Throwing another one. Love that.
I don't even care.
Yeah, just to talk about it. It's hard for me to throw one on the top of my head, but I'm gonna go Rams Packers. The Rams are plus 7.
Where is it at?
Green Bay. I will be there.
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to be at the game.
I'll be there Monday Night
So I
Football.
shouldn't hear what you're wanting to say because you're going to be rooting for your Rams
Are you
either
gonna
way.
bet?
Especially,
You gonna go to a legal sports book?
An illegal sports book.
A Smeagol?
I don't like that one either. I say we roll with Jacksonville. Dan feels very confident about
Yeah.
that. It does seem
I like it too.
So there's a couple times this year that the Cowboys have dominated, in quotations, bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys this. When you think of the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you think of them as a
Mediocre.
bad team?
Mediocre.
Middle
Average.
tier.
All right, let's take Jags.
Oh, my other choice was the Dolphins and the Bills at 7.5.
Don't
That's
touch
what
the
it was.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Don't touch the
So
Dolphins.
no one likes that. We have to go with the Jags. Simple as that. I'm not loving this pick this week, but it is the best pick I think of the week.
Sure.
So Jags plus 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could
All
see it being a 1 or 2 point game. I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Han Solo scraping the Death Star.
We really
Lock
do.
it in.
We need Travis Etienne to pull off a good game, and we do need Trevor Lawrence to keep it up at what he's been doing. So
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Sadly, boys, though, it's time to get out of here.
yeah,
I hate it every week. It's one of my favorite things throughout the week. But
Yep.
we got to get out of here. So, you guys got anything else you want to add?
No, I think if we had to do a collective good thing of the week, it would definitely be the boys' night we had on Friday. Little Waffle House, little breweries, little tall boys where they shouldn't be, and it was a good time.
basketball in Daniel's house.
Oh,
Yep.
Me and Daniel won that game.
we did. Clutched it up.
That hangover was a little ridiculous. on
That hangover
Saturday,
was
but
not fun the next morning.
You're telling me.
I was like, oh my God, my head.
It was ridiculous.
But it was worth it.
Oh,
No, it was good.
100%.
And my brother was with us too, Aaron. And,
Brother.
By the
our
way,
little birthday night.
has he come
so-
home or is he still in traffic?
I think he did.
He's
Oh,
home.
okay.
Why are you being obtuse?
I didn't
yeah,
know if you
be
know
a
what-
cute man.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I was gonna say, was it obtuse or cute? No, whatever.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been episode 54 of the Flights of the Round Table podcast. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, wonderful week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Don't be late.
Prost.
Peace.